be, I think there should be some sense of repentance and some sense of realizing that there's a need in my life that I need some training first. And it says, to provoke the eyes of His glory. It's an unusual metaphor. God's glory seemed here to be identified with Himself as being one of the essence. And provoking the eye of His glory is simply provoking Him to look on them with anger. God can do that. God at times gets angry at what He sees. I'm glad I can't, He must have Google Map, where He's able to see the whole world at once. I don't know how He does that. You ever figured that out yet? How He can be, I guess the Holy Spirit is His agent in each of us, isn't it? The show of their countenance doth witness against them. This is not itself a sin, but a sign of frequent and habitual sin. Vice, long indulged in, stamped its mark upon the countenance, giving men who are called a bad expression, guilty and hardened looking. For some people, just give you that idea they are in bad shape, the bad man. Isn't there a TV show, The Bad Man? What's that called, that one show? There's a good wife. She's anything but good. She is about one of the worst women on television. But she's called. And then there's Bad Man. And they won. I'm not watching, but they've won 5 Academies for the best show on TV. Bad Men. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that they? And then there's Hell on Wheels. You seen that show? I haven't. I watched it. I saw some previews of it, but man, that is about as bad as it can get. It does not require a skilled. This word I'm looking at. I'm gonna see if you know what it is. PHYSIOGNOMIST. I had no clue what it meant, so I had to look it up. Down here. Anybody know what that word is?
No. Is it in our notes?
No, I don't think so.
I don't see it.
PHYSIOGNOMIST. PHYIOGNOMIST. How you pronounce that? Physiognomist.
What's the last part? N-O-G?
MIST.
You clear your throat and start next.
A person supposedly able to judge character from facial expression. That's who. From a facial expression, I can tell you who your character by how you look. That's what that is. At a glance, you can detect if he's a habitual criminal or if he's a pervert or whatever. I don't know. They declared their sin as Sodom. Not only does their countenance betray them, but like the Sodomites, they boldly and imprudently declared their wicked purpose beforehand and made no attempt to conceal it. Now that's getting bold, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And that's what was happening in this state at this time. Hypocrisy has been said to be the homage that vice pays to virtue, where there is none, where vice has ceased to shroud or veil itself. A very advanced stage of wickedness has been reached. We are at an age where everybody comes out. No use hiding your sexuality. I don't see what's wrong with it. Why are you prosecuting me? It's normal for people to be this way. They have rewarded evil unto themselves. They now say evil is good. They have received in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meet. Romans 1:27. Their sins have at once marred their countenance and injured their moral nature. It has to be that way, don't you think? If someone so believes his behavior is not sinful, and he calls sin good, then he can engage in any kind of activity without thinking anything about it. And that seems to be happening quite a bit. And then oftentimes, on the other hand, you can see by their countenance they're engaged in some kind of activity they should. Say ye to the righteous, that is, shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Say ye to the righteous. Now, the mention of the fact that the men of Jerusalem have permanently injured their moral nature by sin and thus rewarded evil to themselves leads the prophet to declare at this point, in parentheses, a general law which extends alike to evil and good. In other words, if you live evilly, you're going to reap the consequences of your evil. If you live righteous, you're going to receive righteousness. Somehow I believe that's what happens. If you receive salvation and you live righteously, you shall have a righteous life. If you live in evil, you're going to have the result of an evil life. The righteous raise their moral nature, become better, and in becoming better, they become happier. A happy person is a person who's living righteously.
That's right.
He's enjoying life. He enjoys getting up in the morning because he's responding in the righteousness of the law of God. His faith, it is well with them, for of their fruit of their doings they eat. The wicked depraved and are corrupt themselves, lower their moral nature, become worse than they were, and in becoming worse, become moral miserable. Woe unto them! With them it is all ill, for the achievement of their hands is given them. Woe unto the wicked! It shall be ill with them, for the reward of the hands shall be given him. Look at verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Now, he returns now and he makes to the sins of the dwellers of Jerusalem. And the first thing notice is that the people suffer from the childishness and from the girly attitude of the men.
Oh yeah, homosexual movement.
The men don't have any backbone. They don't stand for what's right. The rulers are called, and he constitute themselves as so. And then that's the problem. Look, and then in verse 16 through verse 26, it's time to get on the women. First he talks about the men, because the men are not doing their job and they're not doing right. And then he says in verse 16, he says, verse 16, moreover the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk in stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing, and as they go, and skipping, and they make tinkling with their feet. Did he write that just recently? Does this sound like today?
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it sound like that's how some of the people in New Orleans look like? It says the sins of the women. They may be summed up under three headings: pride, arrogant manners, verse 16, lovers of dress and ornaments, and they in that day, I understand, in Babylon and Assyria, and that they just love dressing up. I mean, you can see some of the nations that they just love to be decked out with beautiful apparel. They enjoy their shoes, and they enjoy their hats, and they enjoy their earrings, and they enjoy prancing around in how they look. And there should be an increase in luxury, and to be quite according to Eastern ideas. The Egyptians remains show an advanced state of luxury among the women in times of even Moses. There's an indication that they just love dressing up, which I don't know what's wrong with that, but they like the heat ornaments and the newest application and the newest outfit for the purpose of use it for their benefit. The daughters of Zion, it is over fancy to go beyond the plain meaning of the word here, but allegorically, they walked with stretched forth necks. It says with both actions indicate the desire to attract man's attention. In their shameness and in modesty, walking and mincing, dancing as they go, and to take short steps in the childish way, where the guys will turn right quickly as you look. I have to wear blinders during the summer. They make tinkling with their feet. This means in general, except it has to suggest that with ankle bracelets they had silver bells attached to them. Verse 17, therefore the Lord will smite with a seal, thus destroyed their beauty by producing baldness. Verse 18, the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, rather in their anklets, were worn by the Egyptian women from the time of the 12th dynasty, 1900 before Christ. So it wasn't nothing unusual. It was the Eastern idea that luxury should particularly show itself in dress and ornaments of the women. I think we've gone overboard in that. There's nothing wrong with. I like my sister. Have you seen my sister when she's decked out? Lord have mercy. She is one chick, isn't she? And I said, she come down for breakfast. And she was all dolled up. I mean, great. I'm telling you what, she really looked nice. Now, according to her, that's the way she is. And according to Charity, that's the way Texans dress.
They're flashy.
Bigger and flashy.
They are
nice.
flashier dresses.
I'd a whole lot rather see a woman like that and someone come downstairs
Need to brush their hair.
like need to brush their hair, or or they need to at least look like they know where they're at. I don't know. But that's not what the Bible really says. But they did that to attract the attention of men, and women have been doing that forever. Charity blinks, and I say, "What do you want, dear?" The bravery that they use, and that's what we're doing today, right? Guess who in the Republican convention, they just paraded these lovely women up there. And, if they're going to get the vote, they're going to have to do something sort of like that, aren't they? So, and then it says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their inner parts, secret parts. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, the chains, the bracelets, the mufflers, the bonnets, the ornaments of the legs, the headbands and their tablets, and their earrings, their rings, and the nose jewelry, the changeable suit of apparel, and the mantles, and all. I guess that's pretty.
What in the world are wimples?
Huh?
And they're wimples.
I know that
And
word.
they're crisping pins.
Nose rings. I've got that somewhere. Scent bottles. Rings, literally seal rings, are signet rings. A well-set hair. Verse 25, that thy men rather thy people, the inhabitants, her gates, it said change. Okay, so, you know, they did that 2,700 years ago. They did that 3,000 years ago. Things haven't changed, has it? But this is done in the context in a bad sense. It's not wrong in a good sense, but I'm just saying is the Lord said that they used all this in order to bring about the destruction of Jerusalem. And then it says, thy man shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she shall be desolate, shall set upon the ground. Whew.
When is this going to happen?
Well, that right there,
What-
it was happening then.
Well,
It
Sherry's
did
got
happen.
3 purses sitting here, or 4 or something. It says purses even,
Verses.
in verse 22.
I'm gonna lose my purses.
And she was over here going,
That doesn't mean. It's going out. What I'm saying is going out and buying a $7,000 pair of shoes.
it doesn't say.
The Bible doesn't say all that's wrong. I'm just saying is, you know, to spend $7,000 for a pair of shoes, one pair of shoes. That seems a little excessive, don't you? But it's not wrong buying a $7,000 pair of shoes. What it was saying is they used a pair of shoes, as it were, to seduce men to get to do what they wanted them to do. That's where it becomes from, not just necessarily wearing them.
Who paid $7,000 for?
You know those shoes. If you remember, they found 42,000 pairs of shoes that was fake. They were like worth $6, but they were selling them for $7,000.
They were knockoffs.
Huh?
They were knockoffs.
Yes. And they were trying. You know, they were trying to be passed for those. And
Like that purse like all on the streets in New York.
yes, fake.
But it looks like the real thing.
You can't.
That's right here, here's one of them.
Is it?
Across the street in New York.
What
Is it
kind
real?
is that? What kind is it supposed to be?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's not wrong having good stuff, it's how you use it, so I guess, whatever. I don't think that was anything in our case here. Okay, any questions before we leave? I got through a whole chapter, Frankie, what do you think of that?
I thought it was amazing.
I was
I was
surprised.
amazed, I couldn't see it, but,
You can't see it.
no, I
Are
can't see it.
you seeing them tonight?
She looks like it.
Okay.
She's got a squint in her eye.
Trying to see.
Is that supposed to clear up?
I don't know.
We need to pray that the Lord will heal Frankie's
Hey,
eye.
Rick tomorrow next day.
Really,
She's gonna be gone.
for real.
Remember that?
For real.
Or I'm gonna have to go, I have eye surgery again.
Well, we
Have this one put back,
She'll turn into a thing.
put them both, get this one fixed, close up, so that's where I have a problem. They're one's
I'll just stay.
close up, one's distance, and so they're not working together.
It takes several weeks for it to.
I guess.
It's been
Get it.
since June
She
6th.
said she'd be back.
Well, you should have already been focused.
I guess so, but
Dad,
I hope our.
Okay.
I'll leave them, but we got.
All right, thank you.
September. they-
We'll see you Sunday.
They have to decide if they're gonna stay there or.
I found that in School Revive.
I hope we don't leave.
So you want Rich tomorrow? What time, do you know what time you need him?
It's the
You know what time yet? When are you gonna know what time, Charles?
I'll call him.
Okay.
You can do it in the morning or in the.
Well, that's what I was just trying to figure. They just need to take those dogs up there and leave them for the day, and then we can pick them up later.
Yeah, that'd be fine, didn't it?
Yeah, but he just needs to know what time. he's got-
8397.
Yeah, what time you think about, do you have an idea about what time everybody else is gonna be able to show up? Have you got an
Tomorrow
idea?
or Saturday?
Tomorrow.
I will call you after I call Peggy.
Tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let him know so that we can, so he can figure out if he's gonna take the dogs up to the room or. We've been
Where
going,
do you take them?
up to Piketon.
Lighten up
Yeah.
to Diane
Charles.
W.
Yeah.
She's He's one of our customers, big
Are we
freezer.
done?
Yeah.
We're done. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I used to draw Riley off on my way to work and then pick her back up. And I didn't used to take Toby because Danny always took care of him, but we had him shaved this
Yeah.
summer.
36 minutes.